below the pivot, but about 5 minutes to go before the pre-open closes. We have our guests with us, the experts, Vijay Chopra, Mayuresh Joshi, and there's Ashish Chaturmota there with us. Thank you so much for joining me, gentlemen. Let me start off with Mayuresh. Are you at all in the market right now, or are you just waiting and watching?
No, again, I think with the events that have happened over the past few days, my own sense is that the market is still to come to grip with the eventuality in what happens to the actual demand. So I think everybody is on the consensus that Q3 will be a washout in terms of earnings, but the bigger fallout is what happens beyond Q3. So if you largely assume Q4 in terms of earnings estimates also getting downgraded, you're probably looking at earnings for even FY18 getting downgraded. So when the earnings estimates are close to 15-16 odd percent, you're probably looking at a cut on that front. Secondly, I think the global cues are not helping at this point of time. So I think the emerging market sell-off that we saw both in terms of currencies and the debt market, the strengthening of the dollar, as you rightly mentioned at this point of time, I think the 2-year-old curve, I think that is showing a steepening effect. So in that sense itself, I think volatility is expected onto the markets. So I think one really needs to let the markets gestate. Probably it might grind lower, but one really needs to wait and watch unless there is further clarity happening in terms of how the liquidity situation is improving, which we feel on the ground it is at this point of time. Yeah. But largely I think I am in a wait and watch mode at this point of time.
Okay, there you see the Nifty and the Sensex on your screen, 7982, still not being hit. It's not settling around that space, but very close to the pivot. I also have Vijay Chopra. Mr. Chopra, you know, I see that you have a lot of picks in the sugar space, which has clearly outperformed and gone completely against the grain of the market in the last at least couple of days.
Well, I think that there was a couple of good news in some counters, and you know, sugar has performed, and I think that post the correction in the sugar space, I think you know, stocks have become attractive valuation wise, and there were people who were not actually holding. You know, people have already booked profits and they are out. So the overall holding in the market is lesser than it was 3-4 months back. So I believe that you know, sugar should outperform in the next couple of quarters, but definitely, you know, as we've been talking about, there are black clouds over the kind of performance companies are going to have in this quarter and the quarters to come, because India is a classical consumption story. This is what we used to talk about, and you know, consumption is being heavily hit, and I suppose so that it's going to carry on. People are going to adjust to the new realities. Companies are going to reinvent their business plans, and you know, they are going to tweak their business models, and of course, you know, we have to live to the new realities of the digital world, and the rural India and the tier 2 and 3 towns in India have to wake up to these new realities, because urban India is definitely already on the move towards the digital part of it. But again, you know, there are challenges involved. There are execution challenges, and you know, we really don't know how things are going to pan out. But of course, markets are at a precarious stage. Internationally, you know, we might have an interest rate hike in the US, which can further you know, pressurize the markets. We have performance issues with the companies now, you know, in the next couple of quarters, and of course, you know, we really don't know how things are going to pan out. So I suppose that markets are going to be confused. We can probably see 7600 levels also happening on the market.
All right, you have 3 sugar stocks out there. We did put them out on the screen while you were speaking. So I'll just go across to Ashish Chaturmota. Ashish, what are your top picks right now, and why are they? What are you doing right now?
Good morning. So you see, we have seen a very good rally in the crude oil, and I think that trend is going to continue, and we may expect another, you know, for 4 to 5% upside in the crude. And based on that, you know, we have identified 2 stock ideas. One is Oil India Limited. Again, if you look at for last 6 to 7 weeks, this stock has been consolidating in a range between 420 on upside to almost 380, 390 on downside. Now I think this stock has a potential to cross this 420 resistance mark, and once that happens, we expect this stock to test 440 to 445 levels. So one can initiate a long position in Oil India at current levels with a stop below 400. for a potential upside target of 442 levels. Again, in the same sector, I think ONGC is one stock which is looking very strong. It has already seen a good up move, and post that we have seen some consolidation and profit booking in last couple of trading sessions. Now I think the stock has a potential to cross its previous resistance zone of 290 kind of levels. So one can initiate a long position at current levels, keep a stop below 265, and upside can expect a target of 290 in short term, and if holds positionally, then I think this stock has a potential to see 320 kind of levels on upside. My third bet would be a short idea, which is on Indiabulls Housing Finance. Now again, if you look at the entire housing finance or the NBFC basket is in a bad shape, and within that Indiabulls Housing Finance is one stock which is continuously consolidating at a lower level. So I think this stock has a potential to break 600 mark on lower levels. So one can initiate a short positions at current levels, keep a stop above 685, and on downside can expect a target of 600 in short term, and on positionally I think this stock has a potential to test even 575 kind of levels.
Ashish, what are the futures indicating at the moment? All right, we do have Mr. Malkan as well. Vishal Malkan is joining us right now. So let me start off by asking you, what are the, we're coming up close to expiry. So first let me get your two buy calls, and then I just want a sense of what is the futures market indicating.
Okay, I'll go with two IT stocks, and which I think have make good formation on the bottom, and good accumulation pattern have been seen with some volumes, and also on momentum they are trying to improve on daily charts. So I'll go with Tech Mahindra as a buy call first, which is a stop loss of 435 for targets of 465, and maybe even a higher target of 485 is achievable in the next few days. And the second one would be Hexaware, where again I see the similar pattern, and there is some potential for the upside. So I'll go with a buy with 191 as a stop loss for targets of 210 and 225.
Right, and what is the sense that you're getting from the F&O space right now? Which way are the markets headed?
See, overall, we have seen there is a lot of pressure on the Nifty, whereas Bank Nifty is just trying to retest the levels which it touched on that 9th of November. So I think, and even Nifty now is touching the lows of Brexit. So both are at an important kind of a retest of lows where we can expect a bounce. And as per the global cues, I think there is a bounce due today. So if they hold these levels for next couple of days, and then I think there can be some consolidation to bounce back up to 8,150 in the next few days.
Right. Okay. So can one take a long position right now? Are there shorts which are going to get covered, and therefore we'll see kind of a much higher recovery?
Cover the shorts at this levels, because both the indices, major indices, are at major support. As well as I would recommend to go long on stocks like just I mentioned, like those already formed bottoms, and they have been consolidating in the last few days. So I think IT space, even some of the banks and some of the metal space would be a good bet.
All right, that's the view. Let's just quickly take you through some of the stocks that are in news right now, and I'll start off with the Indian Hotels, which has a extraordinary general body meeting on December 20th. They're going to be the planning, or at least consider removing Cyrus Mistry as director. Arvind Limited, they have raised 740 crore rupees by diluting a stake in their arm Arvind Fashions. Shobha Developers, now called Shobha Limited, their Q2 numbers are out. The PAT is down marginally. Last year they had about 38.8 crore. That's down to 38.4 crore. Reliance Infrastructure, the EPC division, has got two separate orders. That's worth about 3,675 crore from NLC India, which used to be known as Neyveli Lignite earlier. Muthoot Capital, CRISIL, has downgraded its rating on bank facilities, and also it has downgraded its ratings on debt instruments. So these are two things that are going to affect. Wipro, 7 years running, it's been selected a member of the Dow Jones Sustainability Index. So that's broadly not much actually in terms of news coming on specific stocks. We just got a news that was flashed just a short while back that L&T Infrastructure has got a new project. So watch out for that. L&T is also going to come out with its numbers today. So that's also worth looking out for. Some news flashes at your bottom. This is where pre-open ended, 79.89. So that's above our pivot of the day, which is 79.8283, and the rupee itself has also opened slightly stronger, about 2 paise up. It was up about 5 paise. Now it's at 68.13. That is broadly where we saw yesterday, and then it sold off a little bit. So 0.02 rupee or 2 paise up vis-a-vis the dollar. Mayuresh, if one looks at the kind of correction one has seen, and I was trying to work out the existing projections that there have been on earnings on most of the companies. Let's say I took the NSE 500 and tried to work out that. Then I gave that up because it appears that no one really knows what those earnings are going to be 1 quarter, 2 quarters down the line.
And that's precisely the point. I think the earlier estimates were anywhere between 15-16% earnings growth, and nobody's really sure because of the uncertainty, as I said earlier, in terms of the actual demand hit, both in terms of volume as well as value. So in this sense itself, I think when the government is looking at such a situation, I think the infrastructure spends are going to be top of agenda of the government. So in that sense itself, anything to do with power, something like a power grid is something that I've always liked. The results were fantastic this time round as well. The capitalization, the capex program, very much on track. The power transformer space is something that I'm liking. The gas transmission players, I think they're rarely affected with what is happening on the demonetization front, because it's all government capex which is getting through. And with cut in natural gas and gas prices, my own sense is that even the input costs are significantly lower. Similarly, I think awarding of contracts on the road sides, infrastructure side, EPC contract makers, I think these are the players that I really look at on declines if the market does correct 4-5% from the current levels.
All right, we have just about 30 seconds left. Very quickly, Vijay Chopra, what is your view? Do you think that for the time being, FII sell-off has ended? We'll see a little bit of FII buying coming in now?
I don't think so. That as I mentioned earlier, the dark clouds are far from over. So we might see bouts of selling, maybe not today, but maybe a few days down the line. But I think that the worries are far from over as of now.
All right, far from over. Worries far from over. But we could see a bit of a bounce right now on the Nifty, and then a little bit of short covering could push it up even further. Yesterday we closed at 79.29. Everything is in the green at the moment there on your screens. SBI up 1.5%. Bank of Baroda, we'll be speaking to the management, up 1.3%. Tata Motors up 1.6%. Axis Bank 0.8%. Sun Pharma up 1% up. BHEL 0.9% up. Tata Steel now 1.4%. ITC 0.7%. Nifty opens at 79.89, 79.90 right now, which is above the pivot. Ambuja Cement up about 0.75%. Aurobindo Pharma 0.7% up. Reliance up 0.5%. Maruti 1.4%. So there is buying across the board today. Infosys up 1%. Bharti Airtel up to about 0.3%, Wipro 0.25%. That's the first red you're seeing, Dr. Reddy's, which is down marginally. So pharma selling off a little bit today. Lupin in the green, 0.1% up, 0.7% up. Asian Paints 1% up, and 48 out of the 50 stocks right now on the Nifty are in the green. And all the sectors, there's buying across the board in all the sectors. So the Sensex trading at 25,920 and the Nifty settling around the pivot, just around that pivot, 79.83, 79.84. That's what you're seeing on the Nifty. Hindalco up 4%. Let's just try and pull up now the ones which have the highest turnover. It's going to keep changing a little bit right now. The maximum is PNB Gilts up 10%. In terms of gains on the top turnover counters, we have taken the 50 top turnover counters, and we are looking at what Upper Ganges Sugar. Vijay Chopra has recommended quite a few of the sugar stocks. Upper Ganges, he has a CMP short-term target of 320, and Upper Ganges at that 306 right now. It hit 308 just a short while back. Hindalco up 4%. India Cements up 3.5%. Engineering India Limited up 2.5%. Vedanta 2.5%. Bharat in Financial Inclusion 2.4%. This was kind of expected that the finance companies are going to do slightly better, because the RBI has now allowed between any loan which was taken which is supposed to be repaid between this period, between the 9th of November to the end of December, the RBI has said that the recognition of those loans, even if they don't come, you don't have to recognize them as stressed or NPA. So that's the leeway that that banks and NBFCs have got. Not borrowers. This is a crucial thing to understand. Borrowers will still have to repay. If they don't repay, they'll have to pay interest. But banks, and in terms of recognizing NPAs and stress loans, they've got a bit of advantage there. Reliance Infrastructure, we mentioned the two orders that it's got. It's up 2%. Indiabulls Real Estate also on the buy list. It's up. All right, Indiabulls Real Estate, I think, was on the sell list right now on Ashish Chaturmota's sell list, but no, that's housing finance. All right, so real estate is up 2%. Bank of Baroda again 2% up. Let's look at anything which is losing. Just out of these 50 highest traded counters in terms of turnover right now, only 3 are down. Dr. Reddy's now just marginally in the red. HDFC Bank marginally in the red, and now Dr. Reddy is also up in the green. So Marico, that's the only one which appears to be down. And Sobha Developers, now called Sobha Limited, that is down. Numbers have been reasonably flat. They had a PAT of just 38.4 crores, down from last year about 1%. So Sobha has sold off, down about 3%, but it's probably a good day to come out with its numbers, because at the end of the day it's released it on a good day when the markets are other way down. Cable operators are down. Collections must be affected. Hathway Cables down about 1.3%, Den down 2%, City Cable also down, City Networks down about 1/6%, there 1/7%. So cash recoveries affected today. The Nifty is now at 7992. It actually did hit 8,000. So let's just quickly pull up the Nifty if we can for you. It hit 8002, which was the low of the 9th November, and there's the intraday. It did hit 8002, but it has sold off a little bit, 7990 right now, but still 60 points in the green, 61 points on the Nifty. This is a good day. Mr. Malkan, you think that there'll be short covering at this level already, or shorts will hold on and wait for it to trade around 8050?
No, I think there is already some short covering, and as I mentioned that Nifty has taken support an important low of Brexit. So any major low, something like Brexit or 9th November, will definitely hold for some time, and if this continues today and closes above 8020, 8030, then we can expect further bounce back from these levels up to 8150 in the next few days.
That's a crucial thing, and I guess expiry will be a crucial day to watch out for. Ashish, anything else that's looking good to you in the metal space, which is sold off? It's had a bit of a seesaw. The companies like Hindalco, Vedanta, they've had a bit of seesaw since the 9th of November. Anything that's looking strong there?
See, I think there will be a pullback across the board, and I think that can extend till maybe 8150 kind of levels before expiry. I think the stock pick would be ONGC at this point of time, because we have seen a very structural consolidation happening, and we have seen a good amount of open interest addition as well. So I think this stock has a potential to test 295, 300 kind of levels in coming days. So I think at this point of time the pick would be ONGC.
All right, pick OMGC. Mr. Chopra, banks are getting a lot of cash right now. There are deposits that are coming in. I'm assuming some of that would be going into government bonds. Some of that would probably be parked right now in the markets itself, even though and today probably some more will come in. Is that going to be a cash support for the markets right now?
Well, two things, Anand. I think that the money which is coming in, it will also go out. So we have to see the net effect, and this would happen, I think, 1.5 months down the line. We really don't know how much money stays into the system, which is a very imperative point. Secondly, I don't think that people as of now looking at the markets are very bullish on getting into the markets and investing in the markets as of now, because it is such a shocker. Whoever has cash would like to save it for contingency rather than putting it right away in the markets. So as far as the retail investors are concerned, there are a lot of worries. Now, thirdly, the point you have mentioned that the money which bank saves eventually could be used in various ways. The banks can be capitalized. That's one. Secondly, government is planning to announce a dividend for itself, so that is also a possibility. The money can also go into infrastructure, education, and a lot of stuff. So overall, I would say that as of now, to comment that how much money stays in the system would be a question mark. Now we have also to one point to analyze that how much money would be extinguished from the markets. Out of 14 lakh crores, how much money actually comes in and stays into the system? Or say, for example, the government meets its target of say maybe 3 to 4 lakh crores is extinguished. So probably that would be a windfall for the government. So I think that as of now, commenting would be a very difficult thing. And we have seen all the PSU banks losing steam. Yesterday we have seen the likes of PNB and all 7-8% down. So we have to wait and see, wait and watch. Although fundamentally speaking, it is good for the banks that they are going to have a lot of cash if it is not withdrawn, and this could be probably used for the betterment of the economy of the country.
All right, Mayuresh Joshi, do you think that every investor right now is going to be a little jittery as to what next in terms of government policy? What is coming next? No one knows.
Well, I think that uncertainty will loom around on him, but largely again I think from a market perspective, I think if the market does correct 4-5% from the current level, you will see short-term pain, no doubt, in terms of how earnings will pan out, and that uncertainty will always loom. As I was mentioning, I think the uncertainty in terms of how demand will actually pan out over the next 2 quarters is an unknown at this point of time. But again, you're getting qualitative large cap stroke mid cap stocks which have corrected decently. The PE contractions have happened, and that is in sync with the earnings ground rates that one is really estimating in this point of time. So again, I think it's a wait and watch mode, as I said, at this point of time. But selectively, I think the stocks and sectors that we spoke, I think the government spending will improve over the next few quarters, and it has to, because I think the private capex is definitely going to lag behind, at least for the next 2 to 3 quarters. So government spending in terms of infrastructure, selective pharma names, and again, my own sense is that there will be a huge push through on the rural side. So one really needs to see over the next few months the government push through on the rural side of the economy in terms of what SOPs are announced, what kind of incentives are announced, and that will be very, very interesting for rural focused stocks going ahead as well.
So would you say that in a sense that there is a 2.5 month holiday for anyone who's planning to invest, because the big day would probably be 1st of February?
So again, I think that is one of the biggest events lined up for the calendar, because there are a lot of events happening before that. The Fed, what the Fed does, what the RBI does. My own sense is that RBI is going to cut rates sooner. So in the December policy, we're already going to see an offset effect happening on the rate front with the Fed increasing rates and RBI cutting rates. Secondly, again, I think there is no perfect time to find the bottom for the market. So I think any further correction, I think incrementally 10-15% of an investable corpus should start coming into the markets, because any policy announcement either on the government side domestically or even from Trump's side on the economic agenda, if that turns out to be positive for the global markets, you might actually see the markets moving up again. So I think one should not probably wait for a bottom to probably happen. Nobody finds its bottom for markets anytime. So largely if it corrects further, say 4-5%, you should start putting your investable corpus anywhere between 15%.
All right, gentlemen, thanks so much. But before I let you go, we've already run Mayuresh's disclosures. I just need to take the disclosures from the 3 of you. Mr. Chopra, let's start with you.
Whatever stocks we have talked about, I do not have any personal positions. Our customers might be having.
Ashish?
Few of these stocks we have recommended to our clients. I do not have any personal holding in any of them.
Okay, and finally, Mr. Malkan.
I don't have any position in the stock discussed today.
All right, thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us this morning. It's a day where finally the Nifty is looking strong. It's up 77. The last 2-3 sessions we've seen it opening in the green and then sell off almost immediately. But today It's trading now above 8,000. That's a crucial number to watch out for. Some short covering coming in. The Sensex also trading above that psychological number of 26,000 at the moment. Quick break, but after that we'll be speaking to